Okay, we are departing from Burbank, aka Bob Hope Airport. We're going to make a quick left and head over to Hollywood. First, I think we'll fly by the Warner Brothers studio lot, which should be right before the Hollywood Hills, or actually probably right in the Hollywood Hills, but on the other side of the Hollywood Hills actually. So we're getting there, should be about 12 o'clock. Just gonna do a little adjustment on my headset here. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep my head as still as possible. You know, fast point of view movements. I'm gonna try to keep to a minimum. Yeah, the Warner Brothers lot should be dead ahead to the right. We'll hit the water tower with the Warner Brothers symbol on it, so we can tell that it is actually the Warner Brothers lot. And if you look closely, you could probably see some studio sets, fake streets and all that. There's the water tower right there. And if we get close enough, we can just make out the Warner Brothers symbol. Unfortunately, I don't have super high textures rocking, just, yeah, but you can still see it, WB. Yeah, I don't have super high textures rocking just because, you know, for the sake of performance. But I do have some bells and whistles on right now. Yeah, you can see, or a second ago, you could see some fake streets set up on the lot. Alrighty, so right over there you can see LA International. LAX is about 12 and a half miles, nautical miles, that away. We set up the time of day to be about 5, almost 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't know what this is. Maybe it's some weird hotel or something. Who knows? Fucking LA is weird. We're still in Hollywood though right now. Burbank. But we're gonna head over to the Hollywood Bowl concert hall, if I could remember where it is. And then from there, I can navigate to the TCL Chinese Theater. Used to be known as the Man Chinese Theater, where they have all the premieres and red carpet events and all that. Usually happens there. Rocking a pretty decent frame rate right now, so that's good. And the headset's a lot smoother than a lot of the jerky head movements you see here, but that's because I'm moving my head. And the PC can't keep up or detect where I want to put my head, so it has a certain amount of prediction. There it is, that's the Hollywood Bowl. We're gonna roll up on right here. There it is, yeah. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Never seen a concert there, but been to LA a couple of times. Had some fun. Hated the people, mostly. But yeah, everything is super spread out, especially in the Los Angeles area. Alright, so we'll fly down here and hit, there's the Capitol Records building. Capitol Records. Again, these low-res textures just do enough so you can recognize what they are with the photogrammetry. Coming up, yeah, if we head down this way, this is Hollywood Boulevard. We are just in the Hollywood foothills, and we're going to do a little sideways sort of flight, if I can manage this the right way. We'll fly sideways in, see the Dolby Theater, Hard Rock Cafe, and the Man Chinese Theater, or TCL Chinese Theater, and the Hollywood Walk of Fame. There's a gap right there. Alright, here we go. So this is where they have all the red carpet events right here. The Dolby Theater. It's where Jimmy Kimmel, I think, does his show, right? And that's the Man, or TCL Chinese Theater. With the Walk of Fame, you can just sort of make out the stars. Let's pull it around. Yeah, the Walk of Fame right there. Barely make it out. Here's Dolby Theater rooftop. A lot of helipads in LA, so that's cool, on top of buildings and such. Like that one right there, 12. Can land there. Not going to do any landings. I'm just going to try to keep it brief. From here, we can head towards downtown LA. And we'll probably fly over a bunch of stuff that I don't remember or know that it's down there. You know, what would be cool in this game is UFOs. Like randomly, every now and again, you see some weird fucking flying shit. That would be cool. Especially in VR. That would be so cool. Maybe there's an Easter egg, or they can develop one. Who knows? Alright, heading to downtown LA right now. Just checking out the neighborhoods. And we can, it'll take us a minute to get there, but we can check out the Staples Center where the fucking Lakers play. And actually there's a bunch of cool buildings down there. The Disney Theater is super cool, and there's the high school visual performing arts or some shit. Has a really weird building as well. And the department, the water and power building is pretty cool. Sort of surrounded by, it has a moat around it. So let's, yeah, we're rolling up on Staples Center right here. It's dead ahead, as well as the convention center is right there too. And the Nokia Plaza right here in downtown LA. Here we go. So Staples is on the right behind this tall building. Try to set her down right next to the Lakers, the entrance. The big Lakers fucking banner is. They suck. Jealous. And the convention center is right there as well. Some very unique architecture in LA for sure. But the weird stuff is coming up in a second. We'll roll over the other side of town real quick and check out those cool buildings I was talking about earlier, the Disney Theater, and there's the Philharmonic over there. What else is over there? Oh yeah, there's that high school that's right across the way as well. That has that super strange building. There's a helipad on top of a lot of these buildings up here. Maybe I'll do a landing later, but for now we'll just head on over to, oh, I forgot what building that is. We'll head on over to the Disney Theater, the crazy super reflective building, there it is. But see, in the game it's not super reflective, but in real life it's super shiny. This building right here on the left, yeah, super shiny building. Alright, this is the Department of Power and Water, or Water and Power. It's got some cool architecture in the building. And right behind it, yeah, it's got like water all around it. It's pretty cool, like a moat almost. Yeah, so like right here is on the right. I don't know if that's part of the high school. Can't be. But yeah, on the left right here, this weird building is actually a high school for like performing arts or something. Something like that. Yeah, it's just some most strange architecture here in LA. Alrighty. Oh, right over here, Dodger Stadium. Well, we might as well do a flyby at Dodger Stadium since we did the Staples Center too. Might as well, and it's right around here, and then we'll sort of head back, hit the observatory, and where James Dean had that famous scene in Rebel. LA is cool for, you know, a lot of movie stuff for sure, like if you're a movie buff. But then again, New York is good for that too. Dodger Stadium. A little sideways flying. Yep, it is morning time now. Not so dark anymore. And I sort of timed it right, so we will we'll have a nice view of the Hollywood sign when we fly back to Burbank. Right before then, we'll hit the observatory. Still a solid frame rate, so we are. This has been a pretty solid flight. Not much stuttering at all. Like nothing major at all to mention. but I may have spoken too soon. Who knows? But we'll have a smooth flight for till we land back at Burbank, Bob Hope Airport. So if you can see at our right there at our 12 o'clock, there's like right in dead center frame. There should be a little white structure. That's the observatory right there. We can see it from pretty far out. That's another great thing about this game is the view distance is fantastic. The draw distance rather, for a lot of things, not for everything. For the Hollywood sign, it's not that good. Like you have to get pretty close to it before all the textures load in. But for the observatory, you can see that shit from fucking miles away. Miles and miles away in the game. Alright, we'll do a little fly around the observatory. Again, I'm not trying to land anywhere except back at the airport. But we'll do like lots of little hovers and flybys. Go swing around. It's one of the few things that they've modeled by hand in LA for some reason. Like it's not photogrammetry, it's just a 3D model. The Griffith Observatory. So yeah, see super clean textures and everything on it because it's not photogrammetry, they just built it by hand. Mostly everything else in LA, it seems, is photogrammetry. So in some structures it looks good, and in some it's just a textury, pixely mess. But, you know, all in all, this is the first, actually this is like I've flown around LA a couple of times. Because my memory's not that good. I had to remember where certain things were. So like the Hollywood sign took me forever to find this thing. And then once I found the Hollywood sign, I was able to triangulate where everything else was from my couple of short stints in LA. Anyway, yep. So we're flying back. I'm going to be flying right above the Warner Brothers lot again. It's just directly ahead of us, slightly to the left and underneath. We'll be flying right over. And there's Bob Hope, about 3.5 nautical miles away, and we'll set her back down and finish the flight. One of the things it doesn't show in the replay is ATC and communicating with them and them clearing you for landing. Doesn't show you, or you don't hear any of that shit. No huge big deal, but since we're only doing a flight, sooner or later I'll learn how to control the external views, but for now I like the inside VR view. So you see what I'm seeing for the most part. Pretty much. I mean, I think I see a little bit more just out of the corners and such, but yeah, it does a fairly good job of showing you what I'm looking at in VR. And the quality is pretty much the same. So what you're seeing here is almost basically what I'm seeing when I'm flying, um, except not in 3D of course, and not in VR, but you definitely see what I'm seeing, and pretty much the whole field of view of what I'm seeing. And generally, what's dead center in the screen where you can tell when I'm moving my head is when so I'm looking at that truck right there. And now I'm looking at that second little, whatever those tiny little utility truck vehicles are called, forklifts. And I'm sending her down. There we go. Cool. A little sightseeing tour of LA for your face.